Oh, it started already?
Welcome to our channel. She keeps making me redo it because she thinks that we're not those people.
And my hair isn't right.
Yeah, we've wasted like 10 minutes waiting for her hair to become right.
I'm so tired.
And she just woke up.
We are going to have a story time today. Sometimes I think I say that weird.
Story time. This is going to be our first official story time, and it is a great one.
Yeah, and these are like the kind of stories that make our family, which is what our channel is about. Kind of.
Should we get right into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so 2 years ago, my husband and I went on the search to buy our first home. And we ran across this home, and it was really, really cheap for the amount of space that it has. It's like a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, and it was really, really cheap. And so we went and saw it or whatever, and we made an offer the next day, and then we closed on it within a month.
Yeah.
Now, before we actually moved in, with our stuff, we were measuring the windows and stuff, and so we brought Brooklyn, who you guys saw in one of our previous videos.
Side note, we have Brooklyn a lot. We co-parent Brooklyn.
So she was with us.
If you don't know us.
My husband does a lot of windows and stuff for a living, and so he was measuring to put in some new windows in this home. So Brooklyn and I are sitting just like how Julian and I are sitting while he's doing some windows, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, we weren't talking about this at all.
She was 2.5.
She was 3.
3? You said 2 years ago.
So she's going to be 5.
Oh, I guess 3.
So she had just turned 3.
Yeah, just turned
And so
3.
she was who's that little girl in the corner? And I was like,
what little girl?
what little girl, Brooklyn? She was like, that little girl in the corner. Oh, she's leaving. Bye, little girl. That's what Brooklyn's saying. And I already have a fear,
she has a huge fear of
anything scary. I
Yeah.
could never watch scary movies or anything like that. And so I immediately freaked
We watched
out.
The Grudge when we were little, and Bo slept with me for a month. She was so scared of the Grudge girl.
I just get terrified. And so then I was convinced that was why they moved out. It was because of something that
tell
was...
them what you found out about where the family moved
Okay,
to.
well, when we were closing, I had seen their next address, and their address, the people who sold us our home, was literally across the main street from us. They moved to a home that was smaller, $20,000 more than our house, and it was nothing special at all. And so...
And pretty much across the street.
Yeah, and so I asked our neighbors when we moved in, I was like, why did they move out? And they're like, we have no idea. We were the best friends with them for 20 years. And then all of a sudden there was a for sale sign in the yard. They didn't talk to anybody, and they just, you bought the house. And so fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, just maybe a month.
Yeah. And we had moved in, and we had we have a room for Brooklyn to sleep in because she's with us a lot and with Julia a lot, so we both have a room for her in our homes. And I had heard her whenever I put her to bed, she would just start talking, and not to me because I would close the door, and so 10 minutes later I would always check on her and she'd be talking to somebody. And I was like, Naya, what the heck? Who is she talking to? And so I let it go, and then the next morning I walked in, and I was like, Brooklyn, who were you talking to last night? And she was like, the old man that lives in my room. And he tells me this, or that's not my room, or something.
Yeah, he's like, this is my room.
Yeah,
this is my house.
And her voice literally went from her cute little 3-year-old voice to, that's not my room. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I got Naya, and I was like,
Naya's my husband.
I was like, tell Naya what you just told me, Brooklyn. And she was telling me, she's like, there's an old man, and he is an old man. He has white hair,
yellow eyes, and yellow skin.
He lives in my room, and he says that that's not
her room.
It's his room.
It's his room and his house.
So
Should I tell
Yeah,
the other part?
that was a little, like, creepy. So I had told Jillian about it, and then Jillian took it to a whole new level.
So, now, this is very creepy because Brooklyn's in, like, a lot of different houses. And she's never said this about anyone's house. She's never said it about my house. She's never said it about Nana Papa's house. The other girl that she lives with occasionally never has ever said anything like this. So, I went on this website called whodiedinmyhouse.com. And I looked up my house and Beau's house for reference. So I used my house as a reference. Like, it's a totally legitimate house, like,
You can check it out.
website.
It's not sponsored by them, but if you want to sponsor us,
We would love that sponsorship. So I looked up my house, and it lists everybody that lived in your house previously. So my house is, like, probably, like, 80 years old. It is a super old house. Beau's house was built in, like, the 60s. So it's not, like, as old as mine. Mine's like, really
50
old.
years old.
So it lists in the house who all lived there. So I looked up my house, and it was, like, 100% accurate. Like, my home was a one-owner home, and then it lists my family, and that's it. Beau's house had literally, like, 36 people in it since the time Beau has lived in it. And it's insane. And, like, I showed Beau the list, and she saw the previous owners on the list, and it's, like, tons and tons and tons of other names on that list for not that old home. I'm not exaggerating. It was, like, 28 to 36 other people had lived in Beau's home. And there was one man named Archie who had died while living in Beau's house. He didn't necessarily die in the house, but he was a resident of the house, and his name was Archie, and he died of, like, a liver disease. When you have a liver disease, your skin turns yellow, your eyes turn yellow, and so
I don't think you ever told me that he died of a liver disease.
Yeah, he died of a liver disease.
I didn't know that.
I Googled him, like, looked up his obituary.
Yeah, she did more than that, too.
So then I looked up his obituary to find out how he died, and I found his remaining relatives, and then I looked them up on Facebook, and then I tried to message his daughter. I tried to message his daughter and be like, I can't remember her name, like, dear whatever. My sister recently moved into your house. We were wondering about the neighborhood, just to kind of get the feel on the house.
Without telling me or my husband that she was doing this. This is how weird she is. She went to whodiedinyourhouse.com, found the person, found the daughter, then Facebook stalked her.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
She didn't respond.
Beau's house is definitely haunted, though. Moral of the story.
You want a cheap house? Get a haunted
one. Go on whodiedinmyhouse.com to find your next house.
That was the end of our story time.
Okay, well, thanks for tuning in.
Like us, subscribe.
We'll try to post again this week sometime. So, thanks.
Bye.